You are now listening to Extracting Wisdom. Here to help you prevent the decay of your future is your host, Brandon Everett.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Extracting Wisdom. I am your host, Brandon Everett, here to help you prevent the decay of your future. I'm so pumped to have these two guests on the show tonight because they hold a special place in my podcast hearts. They were my first guest hosts on the podcast 24 episodes ago when the podcast was still a baby. And without further ado, welcome back Tyler Brown and Terrell Friday from FutureDDS. Thanks, guys, for being on the show today.
Thank you, Brandon. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Absolutely. It's always awesome talking with you guys, and I'm so glad you guys decided to come back on again. I'm glad I didn't scare you guys off the first time we had you guys on the podcast.
Not at all, man.
So in today's episode, Tyler and Terrell have been working super hard on a massive project that's definitely going to change the game when it comes to pre-dental students applying to dental school. So stick around for that. But first, guys, how the heck have you been? It's been super long since we last talked to you. How's life been? How's dental school been? Take it away.
Tyler, you want to start, man?
I can start. Brandon, dental school is dental school. We just finished up we just got over the major hump. We're D2, so we're second years right now. We have this infamous test block where we had about, Terrell, was it 10 tests within like 3 weeks? But yeah, so we had about 10 tests in 3 weeks. And literally it was rough. It was really rough, man. But now that we're on the other side of that hump, we're starting to look at clinic. I think we start clinic in about a month and a half. That's the reason why we came to dental school in the first.
Right.
Being on the other side of that hill just feels really good. And it's been great, man. We're just happy to be done with most of our didactic classes.
Right. That's so awesome. And actually, funny that you guys say that because we're just entering a block like that right now. I think we have a month left to go in our first year dental school, and we have about 10 exams, across like didactics and performance exams and stuff like that. It's nuts, man. Dental school sure knows how to kick you in the ass.
Yeah, and I just don't understand this outdated system. I don't know the need anymore for this type of system. But I think that as the years go on, and more students who have been through this harsh situation, they become faculty. Hopefully, it will change.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm glad you survived your 10 exams. That's awesome. You're sitting there smiling. You're good, man.
It was rough, but we got through.
That's awesome. And Terrell, what about you, man?
Man, it's been a lot of the same. I can't lie, man. Just was struggling through those crazy exam block. Right now, I'm just enjoying some downtime for spring break. Getting some rest, catching up on rest. I'm in Atlanta working a little bit right now.
Awesome.
Sorry, I don't know if Tyler said anything about that. My audio blocked out a little bit, but yeah, I'm in Atlanta, just enjoying some of this warmer weather.
Yeah,
definitely a change from Boston, and just enjoying some time out here, some downtime to work with some other projects that had to go in the back burner while we were struggling through all of the tests, and of course, this big project that we were working on the pre-dent. So. Absolutely.
And it's so nice that it's getting warmer out now too. Like throughout the winter, and I know you guys feel this in Boston too, just like my motivation goes down. I don't want to do anything. It's gloomy outside, but I'm feeling good now that it's starting to get warmer out. I'm so excited for summer to come around.
Exactly. Once you get a taste of the heat, everybody's mood seems to change a little bit. So no, we're excited. We're excited for summertime Boston.
Yeah, and of course in Chicago here, it's
summertime Chicago is beautiful.
Oh, I know, but it was 65 degrees one day and then it snowed the next, so it's like it can't make up its mind.
You'll be warm soon enough, definitely.
Yeah, I hope so. Okay, guys, so tell me about this massive project you guys have been working on.
Okay, do you want to go, Terrell, or should I go?
I guess I could take that, but. So basically the project, the FutureDDS Dental School Experience Series was a culmination of an idea that I think Tyler and I both felt very strongly and passionately about in the beginning. We both felt saw a gap, and we felt there was a need to really give pre-dental students a better outlet and outlook on exactly what dental school is. Not necessarily the ins and outs of every dental school, but get a better feel of every dental school program, especially going through that application process, and really narrowing down, making that list of schools. Everybody always has that dream school or few dream schools that they look into. But, when you actually go down to it, a lot of times all you get to look at is the website, unless, you live in that city or maybe you happen to know someone that goes to that school. So giving students a better outlook and a little bit more of a peek into the window, so to speak, of each program was definitely the main goal and the main motive going into this project. So I think that I guess, you think that sums it up a little bit, Tyler, about the overview of what the project is?
Definitely. And I mean, and just to even add on to that, I think something that we both wanted to emphasize was we wanted it to feel like each pre-dental student had a personal relationship with the person that we were interviewing. Because, it's one thing to hear, great things from the school itself. Of course, they're going to tell you all the positives and just everything's just amazing, whatever it may be. But we wanted to kind of feel like you had a friend, because once you get that really, really personal experience or perspective from a student, that can completely change your mind on whether you think it's the right school for you. And, I know we feel this way, and I'm sure you feel this way as well, Brandon. The choice that you make, the dental school that you choose to go to is huge, and it really will impact the trajectory of your career within this field. So it's something that it is something not to be lightly taken. And we just wanted to make sure that all of our viewers and really everybody in the world really, really had this series in order to help make their decision the right one.
And first of all, huge kudos for you guys for going through this whole process and creating something that's going to be so valuable for pre-dental students. And when we went through my interview, and by the way, thank you so much for having me be a part of this. It was really cool to be able to kind of share a little bit about UIC. But the questions that you asked me, I can't even imagine being a pre-dental student and listening to all these different responses to these questions from every single dental school in the country. And even you got some one in Puerto Rico too, right? The dental school.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, that's awesome. So being able to get that information from all these different schools is a game changer. And just being able to watch these videos and just kind of see how each school operates and what the curriculum looks like, and kind of how early do you get into clinic, or how early do you do this, or what is this like? That's huge, and that's such an awesome idea that you guys were able to put this all together. How did this idea come about? Was there a moment where you guys kind of looked at each other and said yeah, we're going to do this?
So I think that like everything that we do within FutureDDS, we always try to go back to our former selves. We always try to think about what did we wish we had while we were going through the application process. And we did a application series last year that you actually helped us with.
Yeah. That was fun.
That was great. That was received very well. But yeah, so we just really thought, we don't remember seeing any type of dental school interviews at all, from the student perspective, especially on YouTube. And in today's age, it's really only YouTube and maybe Student Doctor Network. Those were really the only type of resources that we had in order to obtain any type of information about dental school. And we didn't remember there being any type of dental school interview. And so
I feel like I searched everywhere and
everywhere. And so we looked at each other, and we at first, I think we kind of mentioned it a while ago, and we thought, okay, we might wait until third year, because second year is the hardest year, at least for us here at Tufts. And so, we thought about pushing it back, but, the more and more we talked about it, the more and more we saw that need. And, we both just agreed to, hey, talk to each other and make sure that we were getting this work done, because it was a huge commitment. We weren't necessarily able to go out as much as we wanted to. We weren't able to have as much relaxing time as we would like to. But we just really felt like it fulfilled our purpose through FutureDDS, and that's to really help out pre-dents and make sure that they're well equipped for for whatever is to come. So yeah, I just formulated it like that, honestly.
That's awesome. And I just, great job. Like, that's awesome. You guys are really paving the path for pre-dental students and really kind of taking the mystery out of the application process, which is something I've talked about on the podcast and you guys have done videos on, but like this blows it wide open, which is so helpful. And it's going to be more valuable than we even realize right now, just because now that you guys have put this series out, it's going to be out there, forever.
Literally.
So
and that's what we went into it thinking that, with YouTube, with your podcast, these are bits of information that will be there forever, unless YouTube just shuts down.
Yeah.
That will happen, Right. And yeah, that was the beauty of it, really just having something cemented in history to forever help people, because I'm sure you were as well, Brandon, but we were watching videos 5 and 6 years old, when we were applying.
So, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So old, yeah.
So hopefully this information, the value of it transcends the test of time, and we can help people for years to come.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. So here's a question. How did you guys pull this off? Because obviously you guys, through FutureDDS, you guys know a lot of dental students and stuff like that, but how did you, obviously you guys are super hardworking people, and I never doubted that for a second, but how did you go about seeking out all these dental students? How did you find a dental student from Puerto Rico, or just any dental student across the country?
Man, so basically first thing we did was just formulate the list. We had to get the master list of all the schools, all the programs first, and we created a Excel sheet, so to speak. And really the main part was creating the plan at the beginning. Before we actually got into it, maybe halfway through, and then realize a flaw in the system or something like that, and then have to backtrack and do something else. So a lot of work went into the pre-planning, the pre-planning portion, putting that initial list together, make sure we had all the schools, and then after that, really just setting a timeline on when we wanted to get everybody by. So I believe there were 66 schools. We split them up 50-50. And we took half of the schools. So basically we just scoured Instagram, scoured our network. If we knew friends of friends, people, personal friends that are at certain schools, hit them up. And just really went on a manhunt for every school, so to speak, just to, get a student at every school. We initially wanted to target first or second year students just because we felt like they would give a fresh perspective. But actually I found that, getting some of the third year or fourth year perspectives was actually good too, because they can see the difference between the transformation from when they actually entered, or a certain mindset that they might have had while they were going in, to now that they're close to the finish line, seeing, some things that they seen as an advantage going in, disadvantages, different things along that line. So, going through Instagram and really just going through ASDA pages, pre-dent pages, different organizations from each school, just all these different avenues, going through really scouring, man. It took more time almost finding the people than it did to actually do the interviews a lot of times.
I'm sure.
So, yeah. So it was you might search for an hour and a half or 2 hours to hopefully find someone, one or two people that seem to have hopefully have a social media presence, so that when you send in the DM, they actually, you have a better chance of getting a response. Sometimes you'll send DMs and people will take a while to respond back. Just a lot of different things, a lot of loopholes that we had to jump through. But I think that was the main thing, is just setting up that list, and then really just putting in that manpower, putting in the hours, and just searching.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. That's awesome. So we've kind of talked about how Tufts and UIC are pretty similar in terms of curriculum and stuff like that. And I'm sure a lot of other dental schools are similar, but was there a school or a program that was that does things drastically different, or does something that you guys can think of that's kind of out there, or maybe just to have a different perspective on things?
Definitely. So something that, we don't experience is the pass-fail system here at Tufts. I think we still a 70 is a C minus.
Yep.
And in order to technically pass the class, you have to get a C minus or above.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we started hearing a lot of different stories about pass-fail schools. And, we've heard about that before. But recently, I learned that Columbia, you actually need a 50% in order to pass.
Really?
Literally a 50%. And I was shocked by that.
Right.
I was shocked. I think that the way the interviewee explained it was, once you get into Columbia, what they look at, what they really like to focus on is your DAT and your GPA. A lot of different schools look at like a holistic application, but from what she was telling us, it was more of, you need to have this score, and you need to have this GPA in order to get in. And I think she told me she got around a 22 on her DAT, and she was on the lower end. And so with Columbia, I feel like they see that academically you can do it. And so once you get to that point, it's not more about if you can score this certain percentage on the test, but at the end of the day, are you understanding the information that is being presented to you? And so that was one of those schools that I felt like was really interesting. I'm sure Terrell has one as well.
Yeah, trying to remember exactly which school it was. I'm drawing a blank right now, but it was a school I was interviewing. It was a second-year student, and they actually got to do kind of like work a case with a fourth-year student, which was awesome. It was like a step further than the traditional assist in the clinic, which a lot of schools do. But actually being able to shadow a fourth-year student through a whole case, dental case, and it was kind of like a pilot program even at that school. I believe they did 4 the first year, and now they're doing 10, where a second-year student actually goes from the steps of initial impression, final impression, assisting during the prep, and then or the preps, if there are any preps that need to be done for crowns, like for retention crowns, anything like that. Then actually going in the lab, learning how to set teeth with the fourth year, send it off, write the prescription, like actually going through an entire case. And I feel like that just gets you a lot more comfortable with patient interaction, having someone right there by your side, especially in a more complex case. Because once you jump in the clinic, you kind of get eased into it a little bit, just with the complexity of cases, or maybe, if a professor comes over, helps you a little bit more, or maybe having the fourth year assist you at that actual appointment. But being able to walk through an entire procedure from writing the prescription and all, I think that was one of the more novel things I heard of. And I really thought that would be beneficial, even at Tufts, as well as, other schools to start implementing to, get people more comfortable with that patient interaction.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that's a great idea and super helpful because, we do, and I know you guys do this too, like that small group work where it's kind of integrated the curriculum and stuff, but They never really, at least for me so far, like they haven't integrated like the clinical aspect or like the process of going through a case. And I think that's super helpful because, we learn about x-rays in lecture, then we talk about, composites, then we talk about this, but it's never put all together. And yeah, being able to go through that, I'm actually jealous of that. I think that'd be super cool to be able just to see how the process, is done from beginning to end.
Right.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, what else, is there anything else that's crazy or like bizarre that you guys thought like those are really helpful things, I feel? Are there things that dental schools are doing that you guys feel aren't as productive or beneficial?
I think that not necessarily not as beneficial, but something that does kind of resonate or was something that I did recognize throughout this entire thing. Everybody always says that dental school is hard, dental school is tough. But when you hear it from a different student from every single dental school, you actually, it's the truth, and that's one thing that we also hope that everybody who listens to our series, that they really take away from this is like, dental school is going to challenge you, and you should, we constantly kept hearing, don't judge, don't compare yourself to others, have a healthy, state of mind going into dental school and throughout dental school. Make sure you continue to continue a hobby. We heard these reoccurring things. And it really emphasized the fact that, even in those super hard times, every dental student in the U.S. is somewhat going through the same thing that you're going through, And I think in a way that's kind of comforting. It almost makes it to a point whereas, okay, if I know that if everybody else is going through this, I know that I can get through it, And we hope that that's another message that our viewers really do take in. But really quickly, Brendan, if I can, I kind of just want to go through the questions that we asked, or some of the questions, the baseline questions that we asked the interviewees, so that people who listen to your podcast, they kind of know what to expect from the interviews.
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead.
Great. So initially, in the beginning of the interview, we always ask about what motivated you to get into dentistry. It's always interesting to hear about everybody else's stories, and some people can kind of listen to that and kind of see compared to their stories as well, especially pre-dents. Then we kind of ask about the school, so basically where it's located, and what their class size looks like, because that's something that's super important to some people. Some people might prefer a really small class, whereas some people prefer a really large class. So, we definitely want to make sure that information was provided. Then we asked about the main factors in choosing your school. So basically, what are some of those things that really, really made you say, this is the school that I want to go to? So then we talk about the interview experience. And I think this is a huge, huge part of the interview. And granted, this might just be from Terrell and I's personal experience when we were going through the application cycle, but the interview process was kind of a secret. We didn't really have that many perspectives on what the interview would be like at all. So the fact that we have people explaining what their interview experience was like, step by step, literally from what they did when they woke up to the time it ended, I think that's a huge tool, excuse me, and a huge resource for pre-dents out there. Next, we go through the week or the weeks or the initiation of you starting dental school. Basically, did they kind of just throw you into the fire, or did you have some type of orientation week? But luckily, everybody kind of had somewhat of an orientation week, so don't worry. Excuse me. So then after that, we asked the interviewee to kind of give us a day in the life of a first-year student, just kind of what different classes they took. Were they in pre-clin or work lab, that some people called it, throughout the day, or kind of how was that situation set up? We asked them what they believe, excuse me, what do they believe that, what a successful applicant to their school would look like. So just basically what they should focus on, or what they believe that somebody should focus on if they wanted to apply to the school. We then ask about how do they manage work-life balance. We just talked about how important that was.
Yeah.
So we kind of wanted to see how everybody handled that type of situation. And then we asked about the clinical experience at their school. Do they start seeing patients second year, third year? Are they regulated as far as, assisting? What are those different systems, excuse me, throughout the school? And then finally, we asked for one unique experience at their school and any last words of advice to anybody who was applying. And so we tried to really get a holistic look at everybody's different school, and we felt like we did so throughout these questions.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys certainly did. You certainly did. So I'll let Tyler get a glass of water there. But Terrell, how can people watch these videos, and how can people find you guys?
Okay, so as normal, you can go to our Instagram. We'll have basically our interview of the day posted on our story every day. And in our Instagram, in our bio, we have a link to our website, which will take you to our YouTube channel. All the videos are going to be posted on YouTube. They'll be posted every Monday through Friday over the next few months, showcasing a different school every single day. So, there's multiple ways of seeing what schools we'll be showcasing, as well as the student we're going to be showcasing that day, as well as, getting to the actual videos via the website, or, directly going to our YouTube channel. Just type in FutureDDS, look for the orange smile. and go to the channel there. But like I said, every single day, Monday through Friday, there'll be a new video for the next, I believe, through mid-June is when the last video is going to be released. But it's going to be, great content. Definitely every school is giving you a great perspective. We found some really good students that'll give you an awesome perspective about, their journey. And a lot of people come from a different, diverse perspectives from undergrad or master's programs, maybe having already worked, like, taking a few years off. There's a lot of different perspectives that I think will be extremely beneficial for students. Not even if you aren't going to the school of choice, there's a lot of gems in there just through applying to schools or, just going through the process, people you can get in touch with and find mentors through as well. That's one of the big things that I think this is going to do, because most of the people are extremely, open to having people contact them through Instagram, email. They give you their contact information and all. So I think that's going to be one of the biggest things too, is like a lot of predental students can find mentors of schools that they want to go to, as well as people they just connect with, people that they feel like have had a common background and a common process getting to the point that they're at right now. So I think it's going to be a winner in that aspect as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the one thing I was going to say too. Like, whether you're a pre-dental student or even a dental student at this point too, like there's people in these videos that we can reach out to now and hey, how do you do composites, or there's just you guys have formed a network of really strong dental students for both pre-dental students and dental students alike, which is just an awesome project with so many things to offer a multitude of students. So I really applaud you guys for that. And I'm so excited to watch all these videos and just see how this whole process goes for you guys. That's awesome.
Definitely. We're excited for everybody to check it out, and hopefully, somebody finds it useful.
Oh, you know what? Everybody's going to find it useful, and it's going to be super, super cool. Yeah. So guys, I think we're going to wrap it up there. Do you guys have anything, any advice or anything else left to say about the project, or?
No, but once again, it's been a pleasure, working with you, Brandon. We definitely appreciate you bringing us back on your podcast. It's always a great time, and you're
doing great things.
Hey, thank you, and so are you guys too. It's always an honor to. I always love sitting down and talking dentistry with you guys. It's always a good time.
Yep, we both have a lot more to come, so it's going to be a great teamwork in the future. Definitely.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for being on the podcast, and I'm sure we'll have you guys on again soon.
Definitely. Thank you,
definitely.
Man. Absolutely. Take care.
You too.
All right, you do the same.